everybody, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time tuning into my channel, my name's Lisette and I post beauty and lifestyle videos. And in today's video, I'm gonna be doing something a little bit different. By the way, ignore all this. I put this back here so you guys don't see the mess that's in my car right now. Let's not talk about that. I'm gonna be doing something a little bit different in today's video. The other day I was actually going through one of my drawers that I keep all of my makeup in. I was just getting really frustrated because it was becoming really cluttered, and I knew deep down that there was a lot of palettes that I never use. So I decided to actually go through it and reorganize it a little bit. There's no reason to have them anymore. So I decided to take those out, and I wanted to actually do a video on it because some of these palettes, I feel like they really hold special places in my heart. I just wanted to talk about them, and I'm sure I just figured I was gonna have probably stories for them and stuff, and to some people it may not be like that deep, but makeup is something that I'm really passionate about, and I could just tell you so many stories as far as just things I've gone through and things that makeup, there's just a reason why I'm really passionate about it. For one, it's fun and like I like to do it, but I've always been an artistic person, so this is something that I can kind of use to my benefit to express my creativity. Came a long way in my life in general, and I feel like makeup has always been something, even during my struggles that I've gone through, that has always been something that's just been really important to me. So I have a lot of stories that kind of have to do with that. So if you guys want to see what palettes I'm going to be getting rid of, you might just see some nostalgic palettes that maybe you forgot about or maybe you owned at one point. Yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it. The first palette that I have is this one right here, and you know what's funny? I actually have never used this palette. So this palette is one of the old Morphe palettes. Yeah, let me just give you guys a warning right now. It hurts me as much as it might just hurt any makeup lover who might be watching this, who may get hurt every time they have to throw away a palette that's just expired, or makeup in general that you didn't even really use like that. So you guys are gonna see a lot of eyeshadows. This is all just makeup palettes, by the way, you guys. I'm not including anything else in this. There's gonna be a lot of shadows that literally look brand new. I just haven't used them, and I feel bad about it. I really do. So this is the Morphe 35K. So as you can see, it's old because it has mostly cool tone shadows, which I'm sure, as you guys know, it's not so trendy at the moment. Cool toned eyeshadows, they're cool. You could definitely, you know what I mean? Like, it's something definitely different if you want to switch it up, you know what I mean? Some palettes nowadays, they'll have mostly warm tone shadows. There might be a cool one or two. To be honest, right now, cool tone shadows don't really catch my eye that much, and every time I accidentally pick up a shadow that maybe I didn't realize was cool, it's just not my favorite, at least right now. It could grow on me in the future, but yeah, that's pretty much the reason why I never really touched this palette. So I actually got this palette for free, for gratis, from my old job. I didn't want to not take advantage of getting it, but to be honest, yeah, it's not my favorite palette. As you can see, it's the older packaging, like I said, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be probably patchy if I try to use it anyway. So yeah, this one I was like, yeah, that one's gotta go. I think I'll do this one right here because I actually have a story for this palette right here. Okay, so this palette right here, you guys, I've had this since I was in high school. I got this when I was a junior. It's a funny story that actually happened with this palette. I've always been into makeup throughout high school, ever since I was a freshman. Even when I was in middle school, even when I was in elementary school, I loved makeup. I would do makeup on myself and on friends and stuff for like prom or like picture day, things like that, throughout high school, from freshman year to senior year. I don't think I started to realize how passionate about it I was until I was a junior in high school, because that was really when I was going through a lot in my life. So I was really using makeup as an outlet to just kind of distract myself and just to have something fun to do, because I had a lot of not fun stuff going on in my life at that time. I think that was, like I said, the time where I really just stepped out of my comfort zone a lot. That's when I really started to learn more about makeup and actually started to get kind of okay at it, because I was just really challenging myself, really pushing myself to kind of get better at it and stuff, because I realized that was the only, well, not the only thing, but that was the thing that I was most passionate about at that time. Like, I would really do the most. I would beat my whole face, like I would wear more makeup than I do now on the regular to school every single day. I would do the whole 2016 makeup. You guys already know, like, that was off the hook. Like, that was a time. That was when dark lipstick was popping. That's when every single color lipstick was really, like, no one gave a fuck. Everybody would wear any type of lipstick. It wasn't just like nudes, like how it's trendy now to just kind of, you know, everybody's on the nude hype right now, which I am mad at. I love nudes. I love me some nudes. I don't know, that was just like the thing, you know, the IG brows, like top and bottom carved out to the T. Like, that's just the style that was going on at the time. The bright glazed donut highlight, like, that was just it at that time. We were doing the most in 2016. So I was taking drama class at the time. There was this girl. It was crazy because, like, looking back, I'm just like, damn, like, I respect her hustle, because she was selling makeup. She was selling makeup palettes, and I think mostly maybe like eyeshadow palettes. But she had came up to me and she was just like, hey, so hella sweet. I don't even remember what her name is, unfortunately, but I wish I did. You know what's funny? She actually came into my work a couple years ago. I don't think she recognized me. It's crazy because I hella remembered her. She came up to me, super sweet, and she was just like, hey, I noticed that, you know, you always come to school with makeup and your makeup always looks really good. I'm actually selling makeup. I'm helping I think she said she was helping one of her family members out to sell some makeup as like a little side hustle. And she was just like, yeah, so I have you know, a bunch of name brands. I have Tarte, I have this, I have that. You know, would you be interested in, you know, maybe getting yourself something? And I was just like, oh shit, like, okay, I see you. Yeah, fuck it, yeah, I'll get one actually. So basically I ended up buying this palette off of her, and she was just so grateful. She was just like, oh my god, thank you so much. I honestly wanted to help her out more than anything. I never even heard of Tarte at the time. I mean, I think I did hear of Tarte, but I hadn't really tried a whole lot of products by Tarte. So yeah, then so basically she put me onto this palette. It was actually really nice. I actually used it. I didn't use it like that, but I did use it a few times. But yeah, that was just a cool little story, and I wanted to share that about this one. And it's a cute palette, don't get me wrong. This whole palette was like matte, so like I remember I used the shit out of these two. Yeah, I used this for a couple different things. It wasn't like my most used palette, but it definitely did come in handy because, like I said, they're all matte. Shout out to that girl if she watches this for whatever reason. If you come up on my YouTube or my TikTok or whatever, thanks for the palette, girl. And I hope you're still out there grinding like you were in high school, because that was cool as fuck. And you were smart as fuck for approaching me because you knew that I would buy it. Okay, moving on to my Naked to Urban Decay palette. This is one of the OGs. Now, I've always been an Urban Decay girl. These palettes were expensive. All the Naked palettes were like $50. All of the Urban Decay palettes were, fuck, they were expensive. I wouldn't even spend that much money on a makeup palette now unless it was like my birthday, or I just really had been stacking my money for it. I would not spend $50 on a palette now. So every Christmas I would always ask for Urban Decay, but I always just stayed within that brand for some reason as far as like eyeshadow palettes go. I remember asking for this one for Christmas and I got it, and I was so happy. Again, I don't know why 2016 was like the year of cool tones, I guess, because this whole palette is cool toned as fuck. Like, there's not one, well, maybe just this gold shade and maybe that pink one, kind of sort of. That's even still a little bit more on the cool side. Probably just this little section right here is kind of like neutral, warm-ish. But this palette would definitely not catch my eye today. I really only just use like 2 or 3 colors over here. I don't know why I was like that back then. It's like I was adventurous with my makeup, but at the same time there would be a lot of eyeshadows that I would kind of, just because I couldn't envision like what kind of look would go with it, I just would never touch it. Unfortunately, this one didn't get as much use as I would have liked it to for a $50 fucking palette, but I mean, yeah, I mean, I just appreciated that I had options. Yeah, not too much of a story with this one, but it was definitely one of those OGs that if you were getting into makeup around the same time as me, you probably had this palette. Okay, next, this one was my favorite palette, you guys. I still kind of was like hesitant about giving this one away just because I love the way it looks. Another Urban Decay palette. This is the Gwen Stefani palette, and I don't remember exactly what year this came out. I think it was maybe 2017. It was around that time too. Look how cute this is. Like, I feel like this is like, it's just a beautiful palette. Like, it's kind of dusty right now. It has all kind of like dried up liquid spots, which I don't even know what the fuck that's from, but yeah, super cute palette. I love that it feels heavy, so it just feels luxurious. I'm sure this one was around 50-60 bucks as well. The thing with heavy palettes though, especially if they have some type of like acrylic or like metal, is that if that shit hits the ground, it's over. Like that shit's shattering for sure. And I just remember being so devastated because I dropped it and I actually shattered the black shadow, which I was like, I was hella mad. I wish I knew back then the tricks I know now to actually fix shadows. If you didn't know, if you actually shatter one of your eyeshadows or any type of powder products in general, it could be blush, powder, foundation, whatever, if you can somehow put the product back into the pan, if you spray it with a little bit of alcohol and take a tissue and just kind of apply like a little bit of pressure with your thumb on top of it for a couple seconds, the shadow's back to normal. I mean, it's not gonna look the cutest, it's gonna look a little funny, but you could definitely still use it. Don't trip out if that happens, because you can fix that. So anyways, this is how the palette looks, and I would use this palette almost every single day, mostly the shades in right here and then these ones right here. I think I just figured it. I think it's time that I get rid of this because I haven't even used it like that. I can tell that the consistency is just really dried up, so I'm pretty sure it's expired. I mean, as it should be. It's been like fucking shit, more than like 5 years. Such a cool collaboration. I used to love Gwen Stefani back in the days. I think I don't know exactly how I ended up with this palette, but I did really like it a lot. She did what she needed to do. Another Urban Decay palette. This was actually one of the holiday Vice palettes, or maybe I think the Vice ones actually only came out during the holidays. Yeah, this one I was so excited I loved this palette, you guys. I just thought it was so sick looking. It just looks so cool. And then their actual little like things on here, I dropped it as well. So one of the pans is completely just gone. She's really dusty. This one, I loved this palette, but at that time, I think I was a little bit more, it's like I was bold with certain things, but certain things did scare me. A lot of these shadows, I didn't really know how to, I don't know. I just, like I said, I couldn't envision them in a look, or I think I was just kind of, I didn't have the balls that I do now to just kind of just experiment, you know what I mean? Well, I would try to push myself. Definitely. But yeah, like I said, a lot of the time though, I'd kind of, I don't know, I would just stick to the same colors in my comfort zone in most of my palettes. So this is how this one looked. And we have quite a few cooler tones going on. I used to love this color right here. She was cute. She was a cute little palette. I appreciated that they had a couple different matte shades to use in the crease. I used to love this color for my inner corner and my brow highlight. But yeah, this was just a really good palette. I feel like for that time, I think I did get a pretty good use out of it. Yeah, she was a cute little moment. This one is another Urban Decay Vice palette. So this was from the year before, I want to say. And this was actually one of my very first palettes. I wouldn't give away my first one though. I actually still have that one. That one is staying in my collection with me forever. This one is, yeah, one of my first palettes that I did have. I don't know exactly which Vice palette this is, but again, another Urban Decay collection. This one, she's been through some things. The mirror's cracked, like, yeah, she barely even opens anymore. As you can see, even the pan fell out of that one, but these two I think probably shattered. I remember that one getting everywhere, so I'm pretty sure maybe they broke all together. And this plastic is not a good, I know people be talking shit when, I feel like people talk shit whenever palettes come out and they're made out of cardboard, but to be honest, I kind of, which I get it, because sometimes they're like, when they don't have a little bit of like weight to them, they do feel a little bit cheap. But as long as the eyeshadows are cool, I feel like, as luxurious as this does feel, because it does have that weight, I do like that. But what I have noticed is that when palettes are made out of cardboard, I almost feel like, heaven forbid, if you do drop your palette, it almost absorbs the shock of the fall a little bit, kind of just like a phone case does with your phone. I feel like whenever palettes are a little bit heavier, every single palette that I've had that has been heavier and has either been plastic or some type of metal or acrylic, I feel like once I hit the ground, especially if it hits on the corner, it's just like a phone. It fucking breaks, or the mirror will crack, and it sucks. Not only are you out of a fucking eyeshadow, it was expensive, but then also it makes your whole shit look hella ratchet, because then there's hella like crumbles of fucking shimmery eyeshadow. It turns into a mess. But this is how the palette looks, and I still feel like a lot of these colors are really, really pretty. I feel like I would actually use this palette if it wasn't so old. I have given my old palettes a shot, which some people might say that's like really unsanitary. I would never do that on anybody else, but I would give it a try on myself just to see like how they actually work, or you know what I mean, if I could still get a little bit of use out of them. And most of the time, every time I try to, you know, use a little bit of an older palette, I just don't like the way it looks. I feel like it just looks really patchy and they don't blend as effortlessly. The formula turns very dry and chalky. I don't, not a good chalky, not like super pigmented cheap palette chalky. No, I'm talking like it's just not, I just ain't it anymore. It's done. There's no coming back. But yeah, this palette's really nice. Like I would use every single one of these shades. Maybe not that one because it's a little more cool toned. Maybe that one. Okay, you know what, maybe mostly these two. I would use that one for sure, those two, this really pretty green one right here. I would use all of those to this day. I don't really have too much to say about this one, but I just wanted to kind of reminisce with you guys and with all of these, and just kind of tell you the little stories and a little bit of background on, you know, what these palettes do mean to me, and you know, the memories that they hold, you know what I mean. But yeah, so these palettes are all gonna be tossed. I wouldn't even feel comfortable giving these to anybody, just because, like I said, they're expired. I mean, they're not even gonna look cute if you try to use them anymore. If you guys made it to this point, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I had a good, it was fun. It was fun to film. It was fun to tell you. I always just, any video that involves just talking, I feel like is really fun for me to make. So I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure to give this video a huge thumbs up if you guys liked it, and make sure to subscribe to the channel for more makeup, beauty, hauls, lifestyle videos. I got a little bit of everything going on in this channel, so hit the subscribe button and turn on your post notifications as well, so that way you guys know when my videos go up. Yeah, thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. Talking while you come around and not excited.